Hello everyone, welcome to SNIT Training Center. This is Sampath here. After many subscribers' requests, the continuous video of IAS is DNS. In today's session, we are going to see about what is DNS and how DNS is going to be helpful for us. Now let's see. Before I continue this video, do like, subscribe and encourage us to do many more videos. Domain name system. So what does it do? It translates name to IP address. So what is the name here we have? snitsolutions.in. So what it translate? It translate to the IP address. So the system cannot understand the name. So that is the reason we need a mediator, and that mediator we are talking about, what is it? That is called DNS, right? So human tendency is we cannot remember the numbers. How we need to type the SNIT website? Open SNIT website 142.250.183.110. So after 1 hour, can you remember that IP address? No, you cannot remember. So that is why we require names. Okay, the human tendency is to remember the names. So who is working here? In between, DNS is working here. Now let's take an example. There is a user called Nitya. She searched for snitsolutions.in for a website. Now she received that. Okay, she got that website. Now in the backend, what happened exactly? Okay, so for that, as I said you, the user requested for www.snitsolutions.in, and initially this website which will be searched in the host file of the computer. Okay, inside the computer it will search for, do you know about this snitsolutions.in? And the host file says, no, I don't know about this, and this request from the host file, it will be forwarded to one of the server, and that is called local DNS server. Now inside this local DNS server, it will search for this www.snitsolutions.in, and this local DNS server did not found about that address, and this address is forwarded to, what is it? The next server, and that next server is an ISP server, right? You can see the ISP server, and that request is received by the ISP server, and now ISP DNS server will search for this www.snitsolutions.in. Now ISP server did not found, and it will forward that request to the internet, and in the internet that is taken by root DNS server. Okay, and this root DNS server will search for this snitsolutions.in inside the top level domain, top level DNS, and this top level DNS, okay, will search for this, what is it? www.snitsolutions.in. and this top level DNS maintains all the information about .in, .com, .org and .net. Now for the first time, this top level DNS will respond to the ISP DNS saying that I know about this .in, but I don't know about this SNIT solutions. Now that request, okay, this top level DNS, for the first time it responded, right? And now that request will be forwarded to the one more server, and that server which is called as a authority naming server, and this authority naming server which will be maintained by one of the naming service provider. Okay, so now this snitsolutions.in which we purchased from GoDaddy. Like GoDaddy, there are many service providers, but right now, okay, we purchase with GoDaddy, and this GoDaddy will maintain these naming servers. Now these naming servers, okay, will have the information about this snitsolutions.in. Okay, for this website, and there is a public IP address which is 2.2.2.2. Now this 2.2.2.2 which will be given to the user now. Now when it given to the user, and finally the user will get this website of SNIT, right? So this is what which happened, the entire process, and the next time whenever the user searches for this, what is it? snit.com, snitsolutions.in, and that, okay, which will be searched inside this host file. Now already it received it, right? For the first time, it will store that inside this local host file, and that information immediately he will get it. But the first time only this entire process will happen, but the second time it will store in the local file. When now second user comes and search for the same thing inside this network, okay, about this snitsolutions.in, and this information which will not found in this local host file, and that again this request will be sent to the local DNS, and already this user one searched about this, right? So this is saved in the local DNS, and that is served for this user 2, and user 2 will get this snitsolutions.in website. And if it is did not found in this, again it is forward to the ISP DNS, from ISP DNS to the root DNS, and from root DNS to the top level DNS, and from there it goes to the naming server, and this entire process, and whole this process will happen within a fraction of seconds. So this is what which we have seen about this DNS, and practically we'll also see about how this DNS can be configured inside our machine.
Like, subscribe and encourage us to do many more videos.